I won't say like, I don't say don't be scared, but I will say don't let that fear trick you into thinking that it's bad. Fear isn't always bad. Yeah. Fear is sometimes the best motivator, and it can drive you to do amazing things. If your intent is good, your fear might lead you to help thousands of people. Hello, hello. What's up, dude? How are you?
I travel so much, I just have to realize that like that's my life, and I have to figure out how to make fitness and you know, my diet work with my life.
That's tough. That's tough. I get it. I very much get it.
There's a mindset that I've always had where I'm like, okay, I have 6 weeks where I'm not traveling. Like, how much weight can I lose in 6 weeks? Right? It was always like, because like that's when I can be really dialed in, and like I can hit my workouts, I can hit my diet.
Looking at those short bursts, is it, and tell me if I'm wrong, is it more of the 6 weeks or whatever, you're on point, you're really good, and then once you start traveling, it's more just like, fuck it, and like you go off track big time? Let me ask you this, if you had to pinpoint one aspect of your nutrition, whether it's the nutrition while you're away, or it's like the nutrition while you're not away, or something else, like what is the one aspect of your nutrition that you, looking at, you would say like needs the most improvement?
Like I eat out a lot.
Got it. So eating out, so is that like mostly when you travel or also when you're home?
I would say my wife and I probably, we eat out every Saturday night.
Okay.
Like that's just what we do. And then normally like a day during the week we'll go out.
Okay. So that's just like the normal at-home schedule, and then when you travel, you eat out obviously way more. I
would say when I'm traveling, I eat out 99% of the time.
I get it. I feel you. I get. What is the one change that is there one change that you think you could make that would make a big difference?
I don't know, because I've thought about this. I'm going to say that most of the time I go out to dinner, I try to make good decisions. So I guess, I don't know if it's just trying to make even better decisions. So like my go-to is always like, I'll just get a salad. Like I eat a lot of Cobb salad.
Like what happens in the and then the fuck it days?
You know what? It starts like before we'll go out, if we're like at my parents' house or at like my in-laws or something, and they'll be like corn chips or something.
Got it. Yep.
You know what I mean? And I'll eat a couple, like, though I know my weaknesses, so like I won't even buy them at the grocery store because I'll eat a whole bag of corn chips.
Easy.
Like, if it's
no
salty
question. Yeah.
and crunchy, done. Like it can literally be celery with salt and pepper on it. Like that's, you know what I mean?
Dude, that's why I can't have pretzels in my house, where I will literally eat the whole fucking bag just one go.
We'll go out and they're like, oh, do you want to get this appetizer? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I can have a little bit of this appetizer. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, well, I don't feel like having this salad or like this plain piece of fish with steamed vegetables. So I'll get like, I don't know, something with like rice on the side or whatever. And I don't know if this may be a weird question, but like I don't know if people gain weight faster than other people, but I could gain 10, 15 pounds in like a couple weeks.
Oh, dude, so I'm glad you brought that up. I'm really glad you brought that up. That's not weird or uncommon at all. The main aspect that I'm discussing is you're like, I wonder if some people gain weight or fat faster than other people, and you said it's definitely not water weight. And number one is the only way to tell if it's what kind of weight it is, whether it's water, stomach content, glycogen, fat, whatever, bone density, like all these things. The only way to really tell is to obviously get like an actual body fat test, and not one of those handheld things or your scale, but actually like go to like go to a local college campus where they might have a DEXA and figure that out, right? Which is obviously expensive and out of the way and not necessary. I would say to gain 10 to 15 pounds in a 3-week time frame of legit fat is, I would put on the very close to physiologically impossible.
We should give an update as to where we're going with the apple opinion.
We're going to Yep, this is hard to say without an apple in my mouth. We're gonna meet Mike Vacanti. We're gonna go, that's how you say it, right? Le Pain Quotidien? I don't know, it's a French place. I'm not even gonna eat anything. My hamstrings are getting more sore by the minute. And waddling down the stairs. Just gonna go meet Mike for a little grind session. Got a bunch done already, holy shit. Coach Gary, 2 podcasts, bunch of emails, bunch of programs, planned the fat loss guide with Susan, 2 Instagram posts, productive day. I have large.
You only walked what, like 5 minutes, not even?
Not even.
Freezing.
Fucking freezing.
So, boy.
Wow. Is it on?
Talking real quick?
Marshmallows. All right, guys, so I am with Mike Vacanti. We are here at La Pen Quotidienne, if that's how you pronounce it, and just did some fitness business mentorship work, hung out, got some good conversation in. That's it. I'm tired. Gonna go back, take a quick nap, and then Rico reminded me, super excited, this Wednesday, going to Joe DeFranco's gym, gonna do a podcast, and we're gonna put on a seminar in New York at the end of February around several topics, but a lot around how to specifically program for clients, how to write well-designed programs for the long term, and also client psychology, how to communicate with clients, how to help them, how to motivate them, how to get themselves to motivate themselves for long term rather than trying to do a lot of the short-term fixes that a lot of coaches have. Really understanding how to communicate and understand the psychology and behavior change. So really excited about that. Gonna head out. Love you. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. What's up? I can't fucking think straight. This is gonna be a fun workout. Something I've been thinking about a lot is the idea of pessimism versus optimism. I very much believe it's easier to take a pessimistic point of view. Like it's for a number of reasons, but if I think about it from an evolutionary perspective, from just like a human nature perspective, when you're optimistic, it opens you up to new opportunities and it makes you vulnerable. Pessimism closes you off, keeps you to yourself, it guards you, so it's like easier to take that route. Pessimism also makes you consistently unhappier. It just perpetuates anger and resentment and a feeling of a lack of control. Like you feel like you have no control over the situation. It's harder to take the optimistic perspective. It's a conscious, deliberate effort to take that route. It's one thing that, if we're talking about Gary, genetically, I very much believe he is genetically wired to take that optimistic route. Like he's very good at it. And some people are genetically strong, some people are genetically fast, some people are genetically tall, some people are genetically whatever. He's genetically wired to go optimistic. I think I'm generally optimistic, but when I saw Gary and started working with him and understanding it became more of a conscious effort, whether it was something about work, something about family, something about girls, whatever it was. It's always easier to go pessimistic, because if you don't feel good about a situation, of course you're gonna go pessimistic. To actively go against that friction and take the optimistic route is, number one, a skill, number two, a habit. And the more you make it a habit, in the same way that some people don't want to come work out. They have no fucking desire to come work out. And that first time they actually get to the gym, it's really fucking hard. But they drive through that friction and they get there. And then the next time it's gonna be super fucking hard, but they drive that friction until a lot of driving through the friction, it sort of paves it out, and now it's that habit. And they eventually to the point where they couldn't imagine not going to gym. They couldn't imagine that being their life. I'm not saying you can't ever feel bad or upset or angry. I am saying you get to choose what action you take.
True.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No matter
I understand that. It makes sense.
And the only thing that's going to change how you feel is an action,
right,
one way or another.
Right.
And you can either choose to be seriously overwhelmed and stay in the situation and do shit you don't want to do and have resentment and let it build up and burn out, or take an action and fix it. Curling the squat rack.
So what have you decided on training?
I'm gonna do arms today. It's very interesting. My whole life, I've always been an athlete. Wrestling from the time I was 8. I did baseball and I did soccer and I did a lot of other stuff, but wrestling was my sport. From 8 years old until 18 years old, wrestling was it. I got into weightlifting because of that. But for my whole life, I always did fitness and weightlifting and nutrition as a way to improve my performance. I didn't care about getting jacked or getting big. Not that it was bad, but I never really cared about it. I was more focused on how much stronger can I get, how much faster can I get, how much better can my endurance get. That's what I was focused on. Even when I was competitively powerlifting, I competed at 132. I actively tried not to gain weight, not to get bigger, not to get more muscular. My strength was very much based on neuromuscular strength. Rather than focus on getting big muscles to get strong, it was more focused on getting more neuromuscularly efficient, so my brain would tell my muscles to fire faster and more powerfully, because if I gained too much muscle, if I got too big, I would go out of my weight class. I wouldn't be able to compete there. Now that I'm not competing, I want to try getting bigger. Like, I want to try it. I've gone through cycles before. I've gone through periods of like, okay, I'll put on a little bit here, but I never really dedicated years to getting bigger. Now that Rico's just fucking crushing it with the camera and the editing, and I just fucking love having him around, and I want to try something new. I'm really getting back into training again, really like feeling good. I haven't missed a day in like a while now. I've been going like 6-7 days a week just because it feels good to be back here. I want to give this a shot, and I'm excited to see over the course of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, how my physique changes, how my strength changes, how I feel overall. So I'm gonna fucking curl in the squat rack.
Being that your goal is to want to get bigger and also improve your deadlift and get stronger in the deadlift, do you think there will be a correlation with getting bigger size-wise? You'll have a stronger deadlift, or do you think it'll hinder you in your performance of getting a higher deadlift?
No, so that's a really good question. I deadlifted 535 at 132. Getting bigger isn't gonna help me get a stronger deadlift. What I know will help me get a stronger deadlift is just getting stronger. One of my favorite quotes from Louis Simmons is, "Big isn't strong, strong is strong." My all-time favorite quotes. A lot of people try and like get bigger because they think they're gonna get stronger. And yeah, a bigger muscle has the potential to be a stronger muscle, but it doesn't inherently mean it is a stronger muscle. And a lot of people overlook the component of your neuromuscular ability to fire more quickly and more powerfully. Think of gymnasts. Gymnasts, especially like a lot of the female gymnasts, they're not jacked. They're not walking around like with huge muscles. A lot of them are tiny, but they're strong as a fucking truck. Any elite gymnast, any like high-level college gymnast could come into a gym without ever having deadlifted before and deadlift way more than a lot of people who mainly only focused on weightlifting, because they have that neuromuscular ability, that neuromuscular strength. For me, I want to try and get bigger, not huge, but I just want to try and get bigger because I've never really done it before. I've done it. I have muscle. Less now than I did when I was like really competing, but my focus was always strength and performance. I never really had a focus in which it was muscle gain. Let's try it for 3 months. At the same time, getting back in my deadlift, which is good because when you're focused on gaining muscle, you're not lifting maximal weight. You're not supposed to be lifting as much weight as possible. It's actually relatively lighter weight. You will lift heavier, but you're not lifting for a single or a double or a triple. You're lifting like 5, 6, 7, 8 to 12 reps. You generally will lift lower weight and do more volume in order to build muscle rather than trying to go super, super heavy and doing higher intensity and lower volume. So it'll be good for me to get back into deadlifting this way and all my other lifts because I have to keep my ego in check. If I'm gonna be doing 5, 6, 7, 8 reps of something, I can't lift as much as if I was doing 2 or 3 reps. So it's gonna automatically keep my ego in check, make sure I'm not trying to overdo it, and build more muscle in the process. Exactly.
People say that you will, like, it's just, so that's in your mind.
That would make a great Instagram video.
What?
Can you gain strength in a calorie deficit? Can you build strength while losing fat? Because a lot of people make synonymous building strength and building muscle, and it's not the same thing. Can you get strong? Like, people say, like, people equate building strength with building muscle. Technically, you can't build muscle and burn fat at the same time, technically. Over a 6-month time frame, absolutely. For building muscle, you need to be in a surplus. For losing fat, you need to be in a deficit. Building strength and building muscle are not the same thing. For the same reason I was talking about earlier, the neuromuscular, like, you can get stronger and lose fat. And I very much argue if you're not getting stronger while you're losing fat, then either your training sucks, your nutrition sucks, or both. Like, you should absolutely be able to gain strength while getting leaner. If you're in a straight calorie deficit for 3 months, you can't expect to build any meaningful amount of muscle. But building muscle and building strength are not the same thing. Does that make sense? Did you just film me with that? I think you've come a long way in terms of being much more positive and optimistic since like as I first met you, right? Because like Mike and I were like, yo, fucking no more complaining.
Yeah.
And you've come a long way. But I can feel that, and Rico even said he feels that energy, right? Where it's like there was something, and like everyone has bad days.
Yeah.
But like if it's consistently feeling burnt out and just like, ugh,
Yeah.
you gotta make a change. And sometimes that change will be super scary. When I started the Inner Circle in 2015,
Yeah.
but my entire business up to that point was built on the backbone of one-on-one coaching. The majority of my business was run through one-on-one. And between December 2015 all the way through all of 2016 until the summer of 2017, I was still doing more one-on-one than Inner Circle. I wasn't really promoting the Inner Circle. It took literally from December 2015 until July of 2017 when I called Kat, my assistant, and I was like, I need you to hold me accountable and not let me take on more one-on-ones and put everybody in a circle, because if I don't do this, I'm gonna drive myself fucking crazy. Being scared is a good thing. And I've said this a lot. I very firmly believe that kids who like definitively have a place to go and definitively have money in the bank, they're not generally the best entrepreneurs. Because like they always have something to fall back on. So like they can be more relaxed, they can sleep in, they can do whatever. I paid for my college, I support my mom fully, I everything. Like if I don't do what I do, then I'm out on the street. I'm scared every fucking day. Responsible for Rico, responsible for my assistant, responsible for like fucking web guy, like scared shitless every day. But I very much believe that fear is a huge driver for my productivity and for success. I don't say don't be scared, but I will say don't let that fear trick you into thinking that it's bad. Fear isn't always bad.
Yeah.
Fear is sometimes the best motivator, and it can drive you to do amazing things. If your intent is good, your fear might lead you to help thousands of people, right? And like in the process build an amazing business and company and lifestyle for you, but that fear might literally help you help thousands of people all over the world.
I'm afraid I'm not as good as I think I can be. I'm as afraid as I can be on a level of you and Mike.
In terms of as a coach?
As a coach, as having to be secure with money, to be secure with knowing like I'm good at what I do, and there's thousands of people who would pay for my service.
Dude, every day I'm like, is this gonna go? I'm scared about that every day. Every day I'm scared about that.
Like
literally my hairs are standing up. Like every day I'm scared about that.
I'm
but
like, if this fails, bro, I have nothing else.
It only fails if you quit. Listen, you will always have a job because you care about what you do, you care about who you're doing it with, and you're good at what you do. Like, you're never just gonna stop working, right? Like, you're never gonna stop. Like, let's say this goes away. You're not just gonna go sit and watch fucking TV. You'd go find a job.
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah.
You're always gonna have something. I promise you that. I promise you that. You do not have to. I don't say don't be scared of it, because sometimes that fear is good.
Yeah.
But don't let that fear trick you into thinking that it's bad. Like, use that fear. Use it in a positive way. Optimistic, pessimistic.
Yeah.
I'm fucking scared shitless. Let's go make content. Right?
Yeah.
I'm fucking scared shitless. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm scared shitless. I'm gonna stay up and make content. I'm scared shitless. I'm gonna go watch TV. I'm scared shitless. I'm gonna go DM 50 people. Use that fear for optimism to help other people. No one ever regretted helping more people. There's not one person who ever said, fuck, I really wish I didn't help those people. A lot of people regret not taking action and doing more. If you're, like Pavlov's dog, it's like, they hear a bell, like all of a sudden, like they get trained to expect a certain response from like when they hear a bell. Like they hear a bell and they like hit them. They hear a bell and they like get hungry, whatever. When you feel this fear, force yourself to do something positive. Like when you write it down, like when I start feeling fearful about this, I will immediately go into my DMs or go on Instagram and like message 5 random people and thank them for their support and offer my help for free. Like whatever it is, you could do. Like if I feel this fear, I'm going to make an Instagram post. If I feel this fear, whatever, you can make it whatever you want. But make your response to fear a positive action rather than what it currently is, which is a self-doubt, overwhelming, like that's what your current reaction is. You can change that. Feel it, recognize it consciously, and then make a change. That will be infinitely powerful to you. That will just be remarkably powerful because it will change your response and it will benefit you in the long run. Because now instead of just sitting there being like, oh my God, overwhelmed, no one's ever taking action and like not feeling good. You're only feeling shitty when you're not doing anything. If you're taking action, you're making content, you're doing stuff, you're generally like, you might not feel like super happy, but at least like you're in a better mental state of mind than if you're just like scared and like on the couch like this. Yeah. Like when I was a competitive lifter, if I like had an issue, I was lifting, that would be my outlet. Now it's like a lot of times more get on the phone with someone. How can I help you? Like go on DMs, answer comments, like whatever it is. Recognize that fear and do something positive with it. Like actively force yourself. And make make a list of 3 things that you can choose from. When I feel this, I can do this, this, or this. Do it. It'll help. Cool? Man, if you knew how much I believed in you, you'd shit. You wouldn't be fearful anymore. Swear to God. Like there's no reason for you to be fearful because like you're gonna succeed in anything you do. And I could say that over and over again, it's not gonna change anything, but like I'm not worried about you at all. You're gonna be fine. Like just keep working. That's it. You've been doing this for a year. And you're already doing really well.